Alright, what's up everybody? Cosmic here. So let's talk about some Gears 5, one of my favorite series of all time. This video is going to be kind of hard to make because it's going to be a lot of like not good critique, you know. Like I said, I love Gears of War, just Gears of War in general, like the whole series. 1 through Judgment, all 4 of those games are amazing. I liked them all. I did like Gears 4 a little bit for what it was. Definitely put a hell of a lot of hours into it, like 60, 50 odd days of gameplay. And then Gears 5, you know, I put a bunch of hours as well, just like Gears 4. But with the Gears of War series, I feel like it's not what, I mean, we all know it's not what it used to be, you know? It's not as big, it's not as talked about. It's went through a lot of changes through the internal team with the development, and even externally with the gameplay and like the different focus and shift of tone and all that. So I just want to get right into it. So with Gears of War 5, moving forward, I'm just kind of upset that it doesn't feel like how it used to, you know? I know that it was like early 2000s, so a lot of things were dark and moody and gritty, but I feel like that's what the series needs, and that's what Gears of War 5 is, you know? It's a game about grittiness, it's about overcoming, it's about war, you know? Definitely war, that's the biggest element of the whole entire series, and good character development, and good plots and whatnot, and I feel like Gears 4 and 5 definitely struggle with not only characters, but the story direction as well, and I feel like that's really hurting the game, especially moving forward with the tone and everything. I feel like there's a lot of stuff they can definitely change and take out, and things that they should add in from the old games, and like use like the first trilogy as a way to navigate Gear 6, you know. The story is one aspect, so I'll leave it at that, you know. They just had to make it more like what Gears 3 was, you know. It was literally a love letter, and it did everything the last two games did correctly, and it built upon not only the universe of Gears of War, it built upon the characters, the gameplay, you know, the tone, the feel of it, the world, the environment. Like Gears of War 3 built upon Gears of War 2 and 1, and it was amazing. So moving on, in terms of PvP, I know this is a big one for me too. I feel like Gears 5 has gotten easy, which I get it from a casual consumer experience and their mindset when they played the game. But I feel like a lot of elements from Gears of War mechanically wise, I feel like they change a bunch of stuff, and they do it too often, especially when 4 and 5 came out. I feel like they didn't know what Gears of War should be. And I get that if you're a new team, you're not Epic, right? This is a coalition. I feel like they had a different vision from what the Epic had for their series, of course, we all know that now, and in terms of where the gameplay should be. But I feel like a gameplay in Gears of War 4 and 5 is not anywhere. I mean, it is smooth, right? We have to be honest, like it is very smooth. It's very fast, you know, it's snappy, but it doesn't feel like it's rewarding, you know? A lot of things are inconsistent with weapon balancing or the Nasher and all that. And not to say that that's easy stuff to balance, because I know it's not. But I feel like with mechanic-wise, like wall balancing and all this, like, things that should be changed, that should be more like like you're playing a heavy character, they're wearing heavy armor. I feel like it should be more like what Gears of War 1 was for me personally, you know, with more cover-based stuff and taking cover, your teammates are working with you, they're near you and all that. I feel like the mechanics in Gears 5 are very clunky, definitely not as consistent as the other games. It definitely does have its pros and cons, though, Gears 5 does, but I feel like it has more cons than pros in terms of its mechanics and how the game is played and how weapons are worked and how they're balanced and whatnot. And I thought they would get it right with 5, especially after how 4 turned out. And it, you know, I don't know. I think they do a lot of tuning, a lot of changing up stuff, and they do listen to the community, so I can't say they don't, but I feel like they should definitely take a lot more stuff, like I said, from the original games moving into Gear 6. You know, even if they don't want to have the same tone or feel or gameplay style of the original games, they should still take aspects from those, you know, and make those even more relevant, because I think Gears 5 is just not the best PvP game to play if you're getting into the series. Not because it's hard, but I feel like it just, for me personally, I feel like it's just inconsistent on how you play and like how your character moves and stuff like that. So that's just another thing for me, you know, just like the PvP of Gears of War 5 is just very inconsistent and a lot of balance changes and whatnot. So I could see how that can be a very big con for people getting into the series. And on top of that, Gears of War 5 is pretty hard to play. Like, I can't lie. Like, I started playing in 2017 PvP on Gears of War 4. I didn't get good at it until December of 2020, but it took me, I'm a slow learning when it comes to learning mechanics and how characters work and how to, it's called tech, like wall bouncing and all that, which I don't like to do it personally. I think it's kind of corny. I think your character should be heavy, and that when you take cover, you have to commit to where you're taking cover. You shouldn't be able to like, bounce around walls like you're a hockey puck, you know what I mean? So there's some of this is personal for me, I'm just talking about Gears of War 5 and how a lot of stuff has changed and how I'm not really liking it, but there are some things I do like, I put a lot of time into this game. So we talked about the story, a little bit about the mechanics, how the game works, the weapons. I'll make more in-depth video in the future. I just want to give you guys my thoughts on a little bit of stuff. I feel like with the PvE, that's something that I don't think they did right in 4, but they fixed it in 5 after a very long time. In my opinion, 4 should always have locusts, and I'm glad they put them back in. And it's cool to see a class system. I can't complain about that at all. I think it's cool to grind out like a engineering class or a brawler class. Stuff like that is pretty cool, and it's cool they actually got elements from, Gears of War Judgment. They got a lot of elements from that, and especially from Gears 3. So like I said, they do listen and they do take aspects from the games. It's not a lot of the important aspects for the story or the PvP. So that's just something that I wanted to say. But Horde is pretty good. PvE is pretty fun. I don't like hive busters as much. It's fun to play with friends, but by yourself, I wasn't really feeling it. But I get it's something new that they wanted to try. I'm not gonna say too much bad about it. It's a cool concept. I definitely think they can build better hive busters in the future and whatnot. But in terms of PvE, I feel like they're definitely getting that right slowly. Very fun, awesome with friends. You guys can take it at whatever pace you guys want, and there's a bunch of different classes you can try. I'm so glad it's not hero-based anymore. They should never go back to hero-based class. They should only just do, like, if I want to play Marcus and be an engineer, I should be able to do that. Instead of playing Marcus as a, I forgot what he was. But there were certain, like, classes tied to certain characters. I feel like you should be any character and choose whatever class you want. But yeah, overall with Gears 5, I just feel like it doesn't feel like Gears of War. I know it took me a minute to say it. It took me about 7 minutes to say it, but I just want the series to come back. I'm a huge Gears of War fan, just like I am Halo or Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy, and like to not see my friends play Gears of War, to not see people talk about it or have fun with it or bash the developers or the game, like it sucks, man, because like I love the series, and I want to see the series flourish, especially with Gear 6, but I'm kind of nervous because 4 and 5 are iffy, and it took them a lot of work, especially towards the tail end of each of these games' lifespans for 4 and 5. Then they started getting okay or passable in the eyes of a lot of Gears of War fans. So I want the series to flourish, like I said, in Gear 6, and I want them to start off with a bang instead of starting off with their safety on and nothing happening, Like the Gears of War series, I know that 5 put a lot of people on the map. A lot of people play Gears 5 on the Game Pass and whatnot. Definitely Gears of War 6 will be in the Game Pass, exclusive game and all that, but I want to see them go back to the roots. I want to see them take a lot of elements, especially story-wise. Personally for me, with the game and the grittiness and the tone and the feel and the mechanics from the first 3 games. I'll take more stuff from Judgment as well. That game is very underrated in my opinion. But yeah, just go back to what Gears was. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it should follow after what came before it. I don't feel like series should always try to be so different that they're unrecognizable, Like, it's cool that Marcus is in the story and Baird and Sam and all that, but it doesn't feel as big because they're not focused on as much, I get that you have new characters to focus on, but, take care of your legacy characters and keep building around this world that they came from in Gears of War 3, 2, and 1 and Judgment, in terms of its gameplay, its exploration, its tone and all that. So that's all I have to say. I want Gears 5 to come back. I know I'm rambling, but I'll make a more in-depth video about the main 3 aspects, which is the story, the PvP, and the PvE. I know I didn't talk about the network issues and all that stuff. There's just so much to talk about Gears 5 that didn't really work out, that they're fixing or they're working on. So, we'll get into all that here in a future video. But let me know what you guys think of Gears of War 5. Do you guys like Gears 5? Have you tried it? Are you going to try it? And let me know down in the comments below. If you guys, please, can you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share the video, as it helps it get it out to the world, and it helps me as a small content creator, and I would definitely appreciate it. And you guys drink your alkaline water. You stay safe out there. And I will see you guys in the next video.